Hi friends, Quill here, welcome back to the channel and some more Pokemon Sword and Shield information that we got today. If you're enjoying the Pokemon Sword and Shield news, make sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel so that I know to make more of this kind of content. I'm really enjoying getting ready for these games and making these sorts of videos. It's just getting me so hyped for this game. Really excited for it. If you're new to the channel, I wanted to go over our one rule for Pokemon Sword and Shield info. It is that we only cover things that have a certain amount of confirmation to them. I try not to cover things that aren't confirmed. I think that there is a lot of fun to be had in considering rumors and leaks and things that aren't totally dependable. But for my content on this channel, it's just not something that I like to do. Now, with all that said, let's go ahead and get into this information today. There's not a whole lot of news that came out this morning, but still enough to cover. It's probably going to be a shorter video, but I still wanted to talk about this with you guys. I think there's some really cool stuff to be had here. CoroCoro, which if you don't know is a video game magazine in Japan, is releasing a guidebook for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and a poster comes with that guidebook. Today, that poster was leaked so that we can view it for ourselves, and while we're looking at it, it looks pretty good. It's a little bit jumbled for my taste, and obviously not everything can be included on this poster. Not everything's been revealed yet. So in a way, I don't know, it seems sort of incomplete to me. If I got this as a promotional item to try to get me to buy a guidebook, I would be a little bit disappointed. But here you can see everything, all of the characters and all of the Pokemon that have been confirmed so far, including Galarian Ponyta, which if you haven't seen my video on the reveal for Galarian Ponyta, you should definitely go check it out. There's no Impidimp though, which is really interesting because we've seen Impidimp several times, but he doesn't appear on this cover. We've got Poltegeist, we've got, you know, Galarian Linoone, all these really cool Pokemon, and then all these gym leaders over here. We've got Chairman Rose and his assistant, whose name is slipping my mind right now. We don't see Professor Magnolia or Sonia on here, which is interesting, but we've got the big Zacian and Zamazenta on the cover as well. Gotta get that Galarian Weezing in there, you know. So, I mean, this is an interesting cover. I, again, think that there could be some real improvements to it. But the really interesting thing that comes from this in terms of news is this little bit right here. And I'm here on Cerebi, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. Cerebi, being a very reputable news source for Pokemon, has uploaded this close-up of what is a map of the wild area. But while this is nothing groundbreaking, it's really exciting to see up close the wild area, which we've heard so much about. Something that stands out to me is just how massive this thing is. I mean, in Pokemon games, we're used to seeing relatively small routes and forests and caves. I mean, there are some larger areas in Pokemon games, but typically they're post-game, and none of them, obviously, are open world like the wild area is going to be. So I think that's really cool, and I think that's really interesting. There's going to be a lot of areas to explore in here. I think you've got a lot of different little microbiomes here with the water and with the desert little bit of area. You have the possibility to introduce Pokemon that you wouldn't normally find in the Galar region that way, and I'm all for that. Again, nothing too big, but something that can make us a little bit more excited for the game, and something that we've, for the first time, gotten to see by itself and up close. And at this point, I'll take any information on the game, even if it's something this small. And the last thing that I wanted to share with you today is a video that surfaced this morning. Here on Cerebi, it says the Pokemon Secret Member Club has uploaded some footage of the first town in Pokemon Sword and Shield. This footage is similar to the footage first shown at Gamescom earlier this year, but does feature some new background music for the game. As I understand it, this footage was used for a promotional video, but someone's gone in and altered the promotional video file to get the original video. I'm not quite sure how we got this. I just know that it's here. So we're going to go ahead and watch it. Now, I am going to say that there is not a lot here that we haven't seen before. Up ahead is some sort of building. I believe it's the train. Yeah, it's the train station, which I'm going to come back to, I think. Now, I'm just going to talk about it now. So the train station here, a lot of people are thinking, oh, there's also a train station, Campfire Town, in the Kalos region. Obviously, there are a lot of Kalos Pokemon already confirmed for the game, which is leading a lot of people to question whether or not we'll actually be returning to the Kalos region a la Johto. For those of you who don't know, when we played it through Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal, you were actually able to travel back to the Kanto region, which is the original region, and battle gym leaders and trainers there. The fact that there's a train here, there's a train in Campfire Town, and that the Galar region and Kalos region are assumably pretty close because they're based off of real life UK and France, this train station right ahead is causing a lot of people to think that there's a sliver of a chance that we might return to Kalos. Maybe not the whole shebang with the gym leaders and the league and everything, but maybe there will be a little mission or something in Kalos in the post-game. Obviously anything in the Kalos region would be post-game. My personal thought, if it's anything besides just a railroad station and it does in fact lead to Kalos, I think instead of a full-blown exploration through the Kalos region, this train will take us to a Battle Frontier-esque sort of thing. Basically, in the Hoenn region, you were able to take a boat to, again, the Kanto region, which apparently housed the Battle Frontier, and that was in the post-game of the Generation 3 games, that you could go back to the Hoenn region and battle the Frontiers and all that interesting post-game stuff. I think that there is a possibility. They know how popular the Battle Frontier is. And so do I think that there's a decent chance we'll see a Battle Frontier-esque sort of system come from this railway? I think it's possible. And I think that if this railway is anything other than just there for scenery, that's what it could be. Obviously, it could have to do with getting around the game. Maybe it's how you get past the wild area once or twice. I don't know. But like I said, if the railway has anything to do with the post-game, I believe it will be that. All right, so we're going to keep watching here. Here we're going to move over to a random house, which honestly, the houses in this game look really great. They look like real houses instead of like big blocks, I guess. I don't know. And then here, a lot of people are assuming that this is going to be the professor's laboratory. I think that's probably the case. It's in the starting route. It's a big building with a Pokeball on it. And it looks to match the architecture of the inside of the lab that we've seen in the past. So here we're going to go up on the right to what some people are saying is the Pokemon Center. I, again, agree with that. I think it's very obviously the Pokemon Center. The little shop sign right here is throwing people off. They think, oh, maybe there's a little bit of a clothing store inside of the Pokemon Center. I disagree with that. I think that's just the symbol for the Pokemon, or for the Pokemart. Ever since Generation 5, Pokemarts have been integrated into Pokemon Centers so that you can go and heal up your Pokemon and also shop for potions and Pokeballs and that sort of thing within the same building. I think that's just saying, hey, there's a shop inside of this Pokemon Center for Pokeballs and potions and that sort of thing. I don't think there's anything interesting with clothes in a Pokemon Center. I just not what I think. All right, so come over here, look at the Pokemon Center. And then we're going to move this direction where we see in the background what looks like be like a little farmer's market. Maybe we'll get orange berries and other sorts of berries there. And then here is a clothing store. And this is really, really exciting to me, this particular part, because we're going to be, if you look in the back, there are some pretty good clothes here at the very beginning of the game. Character customization has been part of the game since the Kalos region, and ever since then has been getting better and better, and it's projected for this game that there'll be a lot of different outfits to try on and mix and match and that sort of thing. But like in Generation 7, the early game clothes were pretty generic and not very exciting. These outfits here that are shown in the beginning town of the game, this is confirmed, by the way, to be the first town. These look pretty good for early in the game. I'm excited about it anyway. And there we see the little icon for the clothing shop. Not that that's terribly important, but something to consider nonetheless. There is a little icon right here. I'm assuming that's like a farmer's market sort of icon saying, hey, we sell berries and stuff here. We see a couple little grandmas, and just the life that's in this game. Like, you see, as you walk past, people look at you to see what you're doing. This game feels more alive than a lot of the games in the past have, I guess. There's another house, looks super great. And then back there's another, oh, whoops. Little house, way back there, tucked in the corner. It feels real and looks really good. Something I wanted to comment on is the background music. I dislike it. I don't know. It feels over-synthesized, and it's not my taste in music. I like stuff that's a little bit more authentic sounding. But I did want to point out this water right here, and it seems stupid to focus on something like water and flowers and that sort of thing. And I know that this video is particularly low quality. There is no high-definition version of it released yet, but everything just looks so real. And I'm going to back up really fast, actually, to look at the mountains in the background again. Again, I have been to the UK, and that's what it looks like when you get into like Scotland and everything with the big mountains in the background. It's beautiful. We see this building over here, which is really interesting. I don't know, it looks big and looks real. Again, I don't particularly care for the music in the background, but the look of the game is so good. And here's going to end off really fast, but I just think that the games look so good, and everyone wants to complain about that tree that doesn't look very good. It was months ago that that was released. I think that's before the channel even started, that people were complaining about a tree that didn't look so good in the wild area. This footage gives me hope that maybe that tree won't make it into the final game, that things will be improved. I mean, the attention to detail here is very obvious, and I'm super excited for these games. So if you're excited for these games also and really enjoyed this footage, make sure you let me know down in the comments below. I'll be watching and really excited to see that. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Pokemon Sword and Shield news. And other than that, my friends, as always, see you next time.